with the Raveonettes here in our CD102.5 Big Room. I'm, again, just so happy to have you guys down here. This is wonderful. Performing out at the A&R bar, I've got, it's Sune, is that correct?
Yes.
I said it right.
Yes.
So proud of myself. Also, Sharon hanging out down here in the Big Room with us. Now, your 6th studio album, The Observator, out and in stores now. Congratulations, brand new record. Big round of applause for these guys. So tell us about the new record. I know that, I think that from what I could tell online, just reading articles, you kind of had a rough start at first, trying to figure out what direction you wanted to take. But then after you hit the studio, it took you, 7 days to record the album?
Yeah, it's usually, it can be a tough progress getting into making an album because, the kind of direction you want to take and sounds and stuff like that. And it sometimes takes us a bit of a time and not a struggle, but we have to go through certain emotional venues, So it's like this one was a little bit tough, I thought, personally, and but it ended up really good in the end, and so yeah, it's great.
And the 7 days at the Sunset Sound, that was all we could afford, so we had to finish it.
Like do or die. That's awesome. I heard that you guys were listening to a lot of music from The Doors while you were recording.
Not while we were recording, but it's kind of like when you, like Sune is saying, when you try to put yourself in that frame of mind of which direction to take an album in, you try to put some kind of references on it or to kind of catapult yourself in some direction of inspiration. And The Doors sort of became one of those sources of inspiration. And Sune came over to LA, and we, just kind of immersed in that Los Angeles atmosphere a little bit. And Sunset Sound is also where they recorded most, if not all, of their albums.
All
and
the good stuff.
So I don't know if you can hear the Doors references on there, but it was merely one of those tools, in the creative process, I guess.
Now, so I didn't realize you guys live in separate cities at this point.
Well, not for long, because Soon is coming to LA now.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, where do you live now, Soon?
Well, I've been in New York for 10 years.
Okay.
So I thought it was time for a change, and I went to Nashville like 3 times last year and looked at places there, but I quickly found out I didn't know anyone there, so I thought I'd move out to LA where at least I know some people.
That's awesome. How do you think that that's going to affect the way that you guys write, since you'll actually be in the same place?
Well, hopefully we'll get together more often and we can sit down and talk about music and stuff, but also just on a personal level, it'd be nice just to hang out and actually not talk about music.
Yeah,
let's go grab a beer.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. On this record, I know that in the past you guys have given yourselves like self-imposed limitations. For example, like writing an entire album in one key, things like that. Did you set yourself up with any challenges like that for this release?
No, it was pretty much just very open, not really, no.
No.
Yeah.
Also, the limitations weren't meant to limit. They were meant for like, like the guidelines we had for the first album and the second one. They were more of, again, a tool. It's like setting up constraints in a way to be more creative in the creative process. So, more of a challenge, I guess. So not meant to be limitations.
Just kind of a way to move forward, try something new. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, make sure that you pick up the new record. It's out and in stores now. It's called The Observator. And I think we're going to do another song off that release, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Wonderful. What's this one called?
The Enemy.
The Enemy. Give it up for the Raveonettes live in the CD102.5 Big Room.
Staring at a picture of someone I know I love. We had to part, now you're gone. you are always there to remind me. Love fades if you're never around it. You are always there to remind me. You make me feel like I'm the enemy. 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 Wishing for the days when we first met and we went out to places where we could die, to places where we could die. But you are always there to remind me. Love fades if you're never around it. You are always there to remind me. You make me feel like I'm the enemy. 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 You're always there to remind me. 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 You're always there to remind me.
Tickets still available for the show with the Raveonettes out at the A&R Bar. My name is Rachael, hanging out here with our friends in the Raveonettes. And, you know, I saw this story recently and I thought of you guys. I know back in 1999, Sonic Youth had a bunch of gear stolen. You've unfortunately had to deal with that as well. But recently, a bunch of their gear was recovered. Just because their instruments are so heavily modified, they're like easier to recognize. And you guys are the same way. So, I know, what was it, 2005 that your van was stolen?
Yeah, it was.
You're right.
Have you ever been able to recover anything from that
No,
loss? And nothing at all?
No,
Nope.
That is the saddest story.
Yeah.
it is.
It was right. It was actually like 3 days before we had to go support Depeche Mode on their U.S. tour,
Oh my God.
and
Worst timing.
we had to borrow, all kinds of stuff for the first few shows until we managed to like find guitars that we liked and stuff. And yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking at the time and very sad, because a lot of the stuff we lost was very precious to us and old and yeah.
And Suna had this pedal that was broken, and that's why it sounded so great.
Yeah, and I used it for like 15 years.
Yeah.
And that
It was a big
disappeared.
part of our sound. And yeah, sad.
Yeah, someone's walking around with bad karma out there.
Oh hell yeah!
Is there anywhere that fans can go so that they can, maybe see the lost instruments? Keep an eye out for you.
We sort of gave up on it because
Yeah.
we tried for a few years and we had every pictures and everyone knew about it, but yeah, we moved on. We bought new instruments and we made a really good album after that, actually. So maybe it's all good.
How was that? How was that Depeche Mode tour?
It was good. It was really good.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it was obviously we're very, very flattered to be asked to play with them, and also it's just such an inspiration to watch them every night, perform and play, and it was a privilege.
Well, we are very happy to have you tonight in Columbus.
Well,
Yeah,
we're glad to be here.
We'll have a good time. Now, back in 2005 also, just speaking of that year, you guys did a cover of My Boyfriend's Back for the Stubbs the Zombie soundtrack. One of my favorite cover songs ever, and we have a cover songs weekend that we do here on the radio station.
Oh, cool.
We love playing it. Do you guys experiment with cover songs very often, or was that just kind of a one-off? Because it sounded great.
We've done some. We should actually release a cover song album. We
Yeah.
did Come On
Buddy.
Everybody, Eddie Cochran.
We did
That one was great.
Awesome.
Every Day with Buddy Holly. We also did, and
Didn't we do Joy Division at some point?
we did Joy Division.
Oh,
She's
that would
Lost
be
Control.
fantastic.
Yeah.
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 So we've done some.
But it's been a while. We should get back into it.
Absolutely.
I love that idea. Well, it's the time of the year where we start thinking about like New Year's Eve shows and Halloween shows, all that kind of stuff. Have you guys booked anything official yet?
No.
No?
Not that we know of.
I would love to go to a New Year's Eve show with you guys.
Oh,
We did play one a few
Where?
years ago in
Oh yeah,
in Los
LA.
Angeles. Yeah.
At the what's it called? The
Standard
Hotel
And
by the pool.
yeah, we completely lost track of time. I guess we were supposed to stop and sort of count in New Year, but we were in the middle of a really good song, and it was a strange experience. But would do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
That
not?
would be awesome.
Yeah.
A little belated New Year's there with the
In
Raveonettes.
Denmark, there's a tradition that you get on a chair and you jump into the new year,
Yeah.
Oh,
right when it hits.
Yeah.
Midnight?
Everybody gets up on something and then
And
they
you
jump
jump in.
into the New Year.
sounds very dangerous.
It can be.
Yeah, an inebriated jump can be kind of
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, let's go ahead and do another song here in the big room since you guys are so kind to come down here and hang out with us. What's the next song that you're going to do?
It's the first album. Oh, it's the first song off the latest album. It's called Young and Cold.
Awesome. The Raveonettes in the big room. Give it up.
I saw it, you and me, and time apart. I get a shiver from broken hearts. I like the sun when it don't shine. I make it hard on anyone. So many restless souls. I don't wanna be young and cold. I don't wanna be young and cold. In the roaring springtime dust, I love you way too much. So I wonder where to go when love moves way too slow. So many hearts they will explode. I don't wanna be young and cold. I don't wanna be young and cold. All this talk is a waste of time. 'Cause in dreams you're always mine. Why do I burn with such delight? A leap of joy won't make it right. So many times I lost control. I don't wanna be young and cold. I don't wanna be young and cold. I saw it, you and me, and time apart. I get a shiver from broken hearts. I like the sun when it don't shine. I make it hard on anyone. So many restless souls. I don't wanna be young and cold. I don't wanna be young
Raveonettes for hanging out with us in our big room. It's so kind of them to stop by. And, you know, I've been talking about this today on the air. It's a full moon tonight over Columbus, and it seems very fitting to be partying with the Raveonettes on a full moon night. So
we're
have a good time.
nocturnals. We like that. And then the moon sounds good.
It'll be a good time. A&R Bar tonight. Get your tickets. We will see you out there and pick up the new album, The Observator, which is out and in stores now. Another big round of applause for these guys. They're amazing.
Thank you.
And we will turn things back to Command Central.